Oh. Well, that's hilarious. I was taking a video of my feet. Blooper.
Hey, Fastest 26.2 fam. Brian here, along with my wife. Many of you have seen her from last week's video as she helped me in the London virtual 26.2. How you doing today, honey?
I'm doing good. So it's been a week since your London virtual. How are you feeling? How have you been recovering?
Pretty good. Sunday's when I did the virtual marathon, and thankfully it took under 4 hours. The official time, 3:53:44. It took all of Sunday and all of Monday to recover. It took me about 2 days for me to walk like a robot, Terminator style. I was not limber for about 48 hours. And then by Tuesday, Wednesday, I was able to do some at-home strength exercises, core work, and get myself a little bit more mobile. But yeah, so far, 1 week later, I'm good.
I think you've recovered really well, actually. I think you're pretty much back to normal.
It's kind of funny because usually runners would wait a week or two, maybe 3 weeks to kind of fully recover, just kind of get your body and your mind right. But I was already antsy by Wednesday, and I did a 5-mile run.
That's true.
So I told myself, okay, time to lay it back and just relax for now, just kind of enjoy the October food. So normally volunteers in a standard race are primarily focused on handing out one particular item. It could be water, Gatorade, goo. And so I was curious from your point of view, how did that fare?
I mean, I think it was pretty obvious in the video, right? Well, I thought I underestimated how hard it was gonna be because like it's good that you're a planner because you had everything listed by mile. But so at first it was like going great. You know, I thought in my head that I was gonna have like time to read and like do stuff in between, and that was not the case at all. Obviously, right from the beginning, I didn't understand the list because I thought that like he had mile 2, I was supposed to give him something, but I thought it was after he had done the 1 lap.
Like the beginning of a mile 2 instead of the end of the mile 2?
Yes. So then when you didn't want it, I was like, oh, I didn't get that. Like, I didn't understand that he had to make 2 laps around before coming.
You caught it early, and you've been perfect ever since that point.
So then, like, I thought I could be able to sit in the car. No, because the mosquitoes were biting me, and give him the things that he needed. So it made it a lot easier that he had a list, but I still had to get it all ready. Like, I had to mix the bottles for, like, the Tailwinds, or if it was the energy, the UCAN energy.
Yes.
And it came to a point, I think, after the halfway point where you were asking me for different things than what I was planning for. So then I had to like scramble and try to get it to him. So it was like really like I was having a lot of anxiety. It was very stressful, but it was a good stress.
And sorry for that. Yes, because a lot of things, just like when you're running a marathon, everything's controllable, everything is as of to plan in the first 15, 20 miles. But then even on the nutrition side, after a while, even though the list said I might have needed an energy, at the time I needed, you know what, I'm not wanting it at that point. I just need a salt pill or I need water. So at that point I was giving you a lot of audibles.
So I think everything worked out once I was able to figure out the time frame from him when I saw him to when I was able to get him what he needed.
Yes. And the really important thing is that every single mile that I got to see you, I gave you an air kiss and a thank you, because that's the one thing that I've seen a lot as runners. When we pass by the aid stations and we pass by volunteers, we don't give them the thanks for all the preparation that needs to go into place, and they're pretty much there all day to help us out, and they're not getting anything for it. But I wanted to make sure I give you my thanks with a kiss, a thank you, whatever it may be. But yeah, it was definitely important.
So I have a question for you. This is your second virtual. You had done the New York virtual marathon, I think, last year. So how was running that race different from doing the London virtual this time around?
On so many levels. For one thing, it was a godsend as far as weather, because as you can tell with the bug that just flew by right now, it's back to 95, 98 degrees already here in Florida, and that morning it was 73. It was not cold, it was not high, it was just right, and thankfully it was raining that morning, essentially the entire morning, and it pretty much gave me the refreshing side of being able to do the distance without overheating. But last year I did at a park that had a 2.9 mile loop, so I had to pretty much do that about 7 to 8 times, and it was Lake Hollingsworth and Lakeland. And at that time, I remember vividly, it was 77 degrees, very, very humid. It was in the upper 90%. And I did not have my wife at that time to provide me nutrition. So it was with a vest. And one thing for sure is that I did not bring enough nutrition with me. And I was able to do better in this one.
So you had a vest. Was there something in it? Were you just drinking water?
A 2-liter hydration vest, in which I pretty much the night before infused it with 4 scoops
So it was the
of
endurance?
electrolyte powder. And just to let everybody know, I'm not sponsored in any way by Tailwinds or UCAN. All the gear, apparel, shoes, nutrition that I used for this was paid out of my own pocket. But I did have, yes, out of my own pocket. And
So you learn from your
Exactly.
I mean, I think you learn everything. You learn something from every race, is what I mean to say.
yes, and you definitely learn in your training too. Never try anything new on race day. Always try it in training to see what works. And thankfully, over this 1 year from this virtual from the last, this is what's been working for me.
So my next question is going to be about injury, because I know this time you said your left calf pulled, and then like your left hamstring, and then the other side. Did that happen the last time, or was
No.
that this time because you were pushing harder? I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Well, technically, I pushed it hard every time because every single race, regardless if it's virtual or event, it does tell me that I need to get stronger. I need to put more focus on nutrition. I need to eat healthier, but more on my muscles. I need to lift heavier weights. I need to make sure that if I can do the endurance of mileage, I have to make sure my muscles are strong to contain that fatigue. So
That makes sense.
it's mainly a strength issue. So I asked you a question earlier about you as an A station volunteer.
Yeah.
Now I want to ask you as a spectator, from spouse to racer, right?
Okay.
You often were only able to see me from the start, and
That's
then
true.
if you don't see me during, then it'll just end up being at the finish line. This time you get to see me every single mile.
Yes.
How did that compare? How did that feel to you?
I think for me it was a lot cooler of an experience because I got to see him every mile as he came by, and I was part of it because I was the aid station person. So I felt like I was part of his success this time around, whereas all the other times that I've seen him do the marathon, I've either had a sign for like 5 seconds that he ran by and that I didn't see him the rest of the race, or I wasn't there at all. Like for Disney, I was at home with our little girl, so I was tracking him on an app, which I still felt like my heart pumping and the anxiety of like, oh my gosh, she's slowing down, what happened? And I guess
When's
it was
the next 5K text will
Yes.
come?
the anxiety is different because I didn't know, and I couldn't see what was going on, so I felt like I couldn't support him. There was nothing I could really do because I'm watching him on an app, right? Whereas this time, when he would go by, I could kind of like encourage him, or I could give him what he needed. We brought Vivian out to
the
cheer
car.
for her dad and whatnot, so I think it was a lot cooler of an experience, and I was definitely a lot more involved, so I really enjoyed being a part of this race. Not to say that I don't enjoy the other marathons, it's just a little bit more boring because I don't really get to do anything besides see him at the beginning, maybe see him somewhere in the middle of the race, wherever it is that I choose to post myself with my sign, or I see him at the end. And sometimes if it's like a marathon major like Chicago, I didn't get to see him at the finish line necessarily. Like I had to wait way far away in this crowd of people, so I didn't get the experience of seeing him cross the
And
finish
also
line.
due to security issues, it took a while for me to get through the finisher chute
A lot of
and the
people.
medal, to
A lot
get
of
your
people.
baggage, and then finally
Yes.
get to the very
It
end.
was a very different experience. Maybe what I said impacted him at all because he finished, but it's still like I had this anxiety, like I can't do anything for him. What do I say? So this time seeing him every mile was just like really cool. I enjoyed the experience.
And by the way, regardless of how I'm feeling, your words have a lot of weight to me. And
Okay.
obviously that means something because we're married. Even though you say you can do this, and I'm glad that you said that, because I counted up how many times my wife said you can do this every single time I passed her. You want to take a guess on how many times you said you can do this?
I don't know, 26 times? I think I said it every time you came around. Apparently I had nothing else I could say that was encouraging.
And after a while, runners have short-term memories, though it could have been like that and I would have known. But it was actually 18 times.
Oh, that's not as bad. I thought it was 26. I thought it was more
18
than that.
times. But yeah, and to be honest with you, Tori, it could have been 5 times, and each time that she says you can do it felt like the first time. And it's not to be all cute and romantic or anything like that, but honestly, when you're doing this race, it's really hard to remember, especially specific things like you can do it. And I told my wife before this race, you can say anything you want to me, just do not say you're almost there, because we as runners, as if it's not mile 24, 25, or 26, we are not there. We're not close yet, so do not say. I tried really
hard. I didn't say it. I didn't say it at all, you guys.
You're almost done, you're almost there. Do not. I'm pretty sure. Leave your comments in the thread and let me know what else that you think that you do not want to hear from fans or spectators at a race. But for me, it's you're almost there, unless literally you are a mile or 2 away from finishing the race.
Okay, so now we've talked about both of your virtuals. We talked about my experience as an aid station person. What is coming up next?
So, because we've been living in COVID for 8 months now, 10 months? No, 8 months.
Since March.
Since March. So it's about, we'll just say 8 months, just because I'm already losing track of time. Every single race is being canceled, converted to a virtual setting, left and right. And so I've had a 5K on my schedule essentially since May that has been pushed back. And so now this revised date is in December, and right now they're planning on having it done. So assuming it's going to go through, I'm going to have a 5K, which will be a perfect opportunity for the next 2 months. I'm going to focus on my speed. So it's also going to be a good thing for me to focus on my nutrition as well, get a bit leaner, and then focus on getting faster. So that way, before I start ramping up my endurance yet again for the next marathon, I can work on speed.
So you're going to try to like PB the 5K?
That's the intent. I believe my 5K PB is 22:05. So, well, to me, it's fast.
Mine's like 45, so.
So yes. So again, with my ultimate goal, many years down the road, is to hopefully one day be a 15, 16 minute 5K-er, so that way I can progress that time in a marathon distance. But we gotta go step by step here. So
no injuries.
Yeah. So my goal for this 5K is to definitely go sub 22 minutes. Any 1 second PB counts, right? So under 22 minutes would be my goal. I'm hoping for 21. But beyond the 5K, again, this channel is the Faster 26.2, not the Faster 3.1. So as far as marathons go, my upcoming race would be in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. That'll be the Myrtle Beach Marathon on March the 6th of 2021. And then I also have my New York City Marathon and the Berlin Marathon, which are right now on deferral. So I won't be finding out for those majors until October and then potentially February, depending on what year I'll be placed in or what year I'll be deferred.
Excited.
So we feel your pain to everyone that is watching us, as far as all these delayed vacations, all these delayed races. Runcations. Everything.
That's what they are.
So I know that we're all feeling the pain physically, mentally. Just find some way to rest and find yourself that little bit of personal solace, knowing that the light at the end of the tunnel will be there. It's always been too soon to say as when we can be able to go out and race with each other yet again. But just know it's going to happen one day.
Yes, and hopefully sooner than later.
So wherever you are, whenever I get to see you, just keep on putting in the work, dream big, and then one day, whatever your goal will be, you can make it possible. Take care and stay safe.